Hey there. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you recently had the loss of a loved one. So let me start off by saying I'm really truly sorry for your loss and allow me to express my deepest condolences to you and your family. By matter of relating, um, at 12 years old, I found out that my mom was going to die early in life. A few years later, she began an 18-year journey with a neurodegenerative illness. 12 years in a wheelchair. The last 6, she was paralyzed from the neck down. Um, I was a part-time caregiver, and I can tell you, even with 22 years notice, nothing prepared me. Nothing prepares you for this. And so I want to honor you for even watching this video, because it's a reflection of the truth, which is that you loved this person. And now you're in a pain that it can feel a little dark. It can feel a little lost. It can feel a little overwhelming. My sister has a phrase that I think is very helpful, which is, after loss, there is this clearing. And the clearing is peace, and the journey to get there is healing. And when you're right in the aftermath of someone's passing, it can feel like you're lost in the jungle with no way to get to that clearing. But this is the difference between moving on and moving forward. Someone who is interested in moving forward is interested in getting to that clearing. They are honoring their loved one who passed, their connection with their loved one, and they're honoring their own soul by going forth and moving forward in their life to live their best life. Others will simply move on. They will numb the pain. They will try to escape it. They'll spend the rest of their life searching, trying to fill that hole, because they have not learned how to love themselves in this regard. And so the journey that you're on, and that I'm on, was about healing. This journey is about healing. But I can tell you, when it first started, 5 days of bereavement, and I was back at work, because I was just like, I need to busy my brain because I'm in so much pain. I was crying several times a day. I was lost, even with 22 years notice. And I was just a wreck. Frankly, you can have the same experience from a bad breakup, or a major health diagnosis. Grief is grief. But when it comes to losing a loved one, we can go through this process of not knowing who we are without them, which is exactly where I found myself. And I felt lost. I felt confused. I was not the man that I wanted to be. I was not the leader that I wanted to be. My life wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I realized that so much of my life had been shaped unconsciously by her presence, by her illness, etc., that I really had to go on a journey of healing. I had to go on a journey of growth. And because of the timing and so many other factors of when I learned about all of this, I had to go back and heal a lot of parts of my past as part of this journey. And in doing so, what I realized was that, the deeper the love, the deeper the pain. But I also realized that we only have one life. And I was not going to spend the rest of mine living in that pain. I was not going to spend the rest of mine living in stress. I was not going to spend the rest of my life not being at peace, not living a life of joy, because I know that's what she wanted for me. That's what I wanted to reach as part of honoring my connection with her, and really about doing what I wanted to do for myself. So many times in life, we follow our parents' dreams for us. And then maybe you get to the point where you realize it's no longer about their dreams, it's about your own dreams. And actually, that's really what they want for you. on a deep level is they want you to follow your own dreams and be successful at it. They just have ideas, and those ideas can sometimes result in you making major decisions in your life with your career, where you live, family, everything, because of the unconscious influence of your parents or your partners or even the boss or politicians or whatever it may be. These forces shape us. And so what I want to offer to you are a few resources that I wish that I had earlier, because I can tell you where I'm at now is completely different than where I used to be. I am living a beautiful life. I am very happy with the man that I am, with the leader that I am, with the journey that I have walked, and the man that I continue to grow into. And this is available to everyone, right? But not everyone chooses to do the work. So again, if you're watching this video, I honor you, because not everyone will actually go through and heal and grow. But there's so much beauty in claiming your own sovereignty and claiming your own soul and saying, no, we've only got one life, and I'm going to live the one that I want to live so that I'm happy. Because you deserve that. And that's what they would want for you. The deeper the love, the deeper the pain. Number 2, if you talk to them, don't be surprised if you hear them speak back. But know the difference between the voice that speaks from a place of love and the voice that speaks to you in that judgmental voice or that controlling voice. That's actually not them. That's your memories of the past. Two different things. The spirits of our loved ones will only speak to us through love now. And so know this as you're going through this journey, that you may hear them, and you can always politely say, thank you, I got it from here. Because that amount of time that they've influenced your life and that they've comforted you, it's now time for you to do that for yourself. What you may find during the healing process is it's useful to come to a conscious relationship with grief. The Kubler-Ross grief cycle, and I'll include this in some materials for you, it can be very, very useful in this regard. There's 5 stages to the Kubler-Ross grief cycle: denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, acceptance. I'm not sure if it's that order, but it's something like that order. And it's non-linear. So you go through it, and the order is different for everyone. And it's really useful to have a conscious relationship with grief, because then you know when you're sad and when you're angry and when you're, oh God, I wish I hadn't, done this, or, if I had done this, she'd still be alive right now. These types of things, it's real, having a conscious relationship with grief can be very, very useful to going through this process, so that you can distinguish between the adult in this now moment versus the part of you from the past who is grieving whatever you're going through. Because, and they'll call it, you may hear the phrase, the year of firsts. It's not just their passing and their death. It's the first time that your birthday is happening without them. First time a promotion, the first time, something happens in your romantic relationship, or, a new woman enters your life, or you buy a house, or, you get a promotion, or whatever it may be. Something happens and you go to call them and they're not there. And there's that, and there's Christmas, and there's everything else that happens, right? You go to that restaurant. Oh, remember the time that, such and such was here with us? And there's a miniature grief cycle through that, which is that part of you coming to acceptance that they're no longer here. So the adult in the eternal and timeless here and now comes to this acceptance within a few weeks of this person passing. But the parts of you from the past are the pieces that you're kind of picking up, the shards of your heart. It's like a glass heart that is shattered into 1,000 pieces. And you would have to pick up those pieces and welcome them home. Because specifically in the case of the mother, the mother loves the child because the child does not know how to love themselves. And these are archetypical forces. The father provides direction because the child does not know how to direct himself. Again, can be men or women. It's archetypical forces here. So when we lose that in a parent or in a partner who plays that role subconsciously in our life, we are learning as adults and as men to love ourselves and to direct ourselves. This is a process. There is no rush to this process. There is no right way to do it. It is your life, okay? And you have free will. So what the invitation here is to tap into the grief cycle consciously so that you can realize you are grieving when you go through those moments in your life without this person, whether it be from a death or from a breakup for that matter, right? Or from a job loss, right? How are you now coming into touch with who you are without this person in your life? Because again, before mom passed, I was in a stressful place. I was anxious. I was depressed. I was not the man that I wanted to be. I didn't know how to love myself. All my relationships reflected this. There was a lot of tension in my life. There was a lot of stress in my life. She passes, and I come to this awareness that we only have one life, and I was not going to spend mine not being at peace and not being stress-free and not living a joyful life. And so when you go through this journey of consciously grieving, it can help you get to that peace, to that clearing in the field, if you will, a lot faster. But there's no rushing grief. There's just a question of, can you do it more efficiently? I don't even know if that's the right English, but hopefully you get the spirit of what I'm saying. So Kubler-Ross grief cycle is huge. Other resources for you that I'm going to include in the bundle is number one, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Great book. I have a summary for it, but I recommend reading the book. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Totally recommend reading that book. Helps you rebuild your operating system. Deepak Chopra's 7 Laws of Spiritual Success, another phenomenal book, as you embark on what many would refer to as a spiritual journey. You have been initiated by this loss. That's what it means to be watching this video. You may be exploring new belief systems, new spirituality, right? You may be hearing messages from the spirits on why are these animals coming into my life? What are these songs? Why do these songs bring up so much emotion for me? You are on a spiritual journey. You're on a healing journey. And so Deepak Chopra's work can be very useful to that. Francis Weller's Wild Edge of Sorrow can also be useful. And in it, he speaks about the 5 gates of grief, which can be part of your journey as well, where you are now coming into touch with the fact that there's a lot more to grieve here than just the fact that they passed, but there's other aspects. Community that wasn't there for you. A world that is not the world that we want it to be. Ancestral griefs of what happened with grandma and great-grandma and so on and so forth back in the chain that created these impacts to the way that you are in your here and now. And what I can profess to you is that these resources helped me get through this process, which again was profound grief. But I also want to encourage you to reach out for help. I may not be the best person. I may or may not be. I don't know. But you really don't have to go through this alone. And your significant other and your family members are not professionals. So when you reach out for help, you're talking to someone who can actually put your highest good at the center of the conversation, because it's about your life now. It's about taking this part of you and shaping this energy into whatever shape you'd like to shape it into. What's your purpose here? What's your mission here? What's your vision here? How do you want to access a life of peace and joy? This is your divine birthright. And so Getting help professionally can definitely accelerate the process, although I hesitate to use the word accelerate because, again, there is no timeline to this, there's no right order to this. But what I'd say is, I'm just realizing that my microphone was not plugged in this entire time. But what I would say is, you are on a journey now. And if you're anything around my age, you probably got here sooner than most of your peers. So it's a small but growing club, unfortunately. Um, and so honor yourself, honor them, honor yourself by going through this healing process. Because as you do, you are making their dream come true by you following your own dreams, following your own heart, living a great, fulfilling life. That's what they really want for you. Okay. And you're also modeling to others that it's completely possible. I'm living a great life right now. But it took work to get here. It was a spiritual journey. And so I have various resources that I'm happy to share with you. Just message me loss, and I'll make this thing completely available to you. Some of these videos are actually what I put behind my paid courses, but when it comes to personal loss, especially of a loved one, my heart goes out to you. I know that pain. I know that pain deeply. And if there's anything that I can do to shorten that suffering for you and help you reach a place of healing and growth faster, please let me know. Please reach out. I definitely want to help you get there, because this is your one and only life. And now that they're gone, it's time for us to live our best life. And as men specifically, to be completely sovereign and self-reliant. We can love ourselves. We can direct ourselves without mom and dad in our life. With a breakup, with this partner who was very important to you, you thought you had the one. And now they are moving on to their own journey, and it's time for you to move forward with yours, right? So, again, please accept my sincere condolences, my sincere sympathy for your loss to you and your loved ones. And again, message me loss if you're interested in getting access to any of the materials that I put here and maybe I didn't include. I just really want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can to support you as some stranger who's watching this. So with all the love in my heart, wishing you blessings, wishing you healing, and wishing you growth. Take care.